Good day, grade 7. I hope you are all fine. I am Ma'am Liza, your teacher in English 7. We are now in lesson 5 of quarter 1. I hope you will all listen to our discussion. For this week objectives, we will learn how to distinguish between slang and colloquial expression. Value the importance of understanding differences in languages and evaluate the expressions whether it is slang or colloquial. So we'll be learning about distinguishing between slang and colloquial expressions. Sometimes there are confusions between the two. So when we say colloquial expressions, these are informal and everyday language used by people in a certain geographical location. They are distinct to that group and in turn helps express the group's identity. They are still part of the standard language and can be understood across age and socio-economic barriers within the said geographical boundary. For example, so we have here American and British English. So sometimes there are words that they are not the same or they call it with a different name. For example, cookie and cracker for American, but in British they call it biscuit. In American they call it parking lot, but in British they call it car park. French fries, but in British language they call it chips. American always called it movie theater or movies, but British call it cinema. American also call it as elevator, but in British they call it lift. Note that the variations in the slang and colloquial expressions naturally exist between these two nations because there are a lot of words that they call in different names. When we say slang expressions, these are less informal language used by specific social groups, example, teenagers, boys, or girls. It also pertains to unconventional words or phrases that express either something new or something old in a new way. In the Philippines, slang also has its own niche. For example, Yossi, we call it Yossi, but it is cigarette. Baguettes, it means young. Astig or cool. Features and examples of slang. It is informal. It is considered informal in spoken language. Creative. Since it is coined from a new term, the inventor of these kinds of words needs creativity. Contextual. There are certain groups of people who create and use it within their exclusive circle before it reaches the mainstream. Here are some examples of internet slang terms used in the Philippines. So somehow you are familiar with these words. ATM means at this moment. BFF like, you're my BFF. It means we are best friend forever. Or you are my best friend forever. HBD means happy birthday. IDK means I don't know. LOL or LOL means laugh out loud. TBT means Throwback Thursday, and YOLO means you only live once. To see the similarities and differences between colloquial and slang expression, look at the Venn diagram flashed on the screen. So when we say slang and colloquial, they are both informal, spoken forms of language. But slang is not considered part of the standard language. It is used only by specific social groups, example, teenagers or members of certain ethnic group. When we say colloquial, it is a part of the standard language, geographic in nature, but can be understood across age and socio-economic barriers. I hope you understand the difference between slang and colloquial languages. I hope you are able to understand now the difference between slang and colloquial language. For your activity or homework for this week, so you must again submit your activity on Wednesday from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. Again, you should always read the directions carefully and always write your name and section. So on your book, answer Activity 8 in Integrated English for Effective Communication on page 28. Thank you, grade 7.